How many of you remember the cartoon character called the Road Runner? Anybody? You know, the cartoon character that went from 0 to 50 in about 2 seconds? Well, that's Jimmy Buczek, class of 1988, all right? Although John Blashley over there tells me he made Jim Buczek, I think Jim Buczek made a mark for himself as an all-Metro lacrosse player and a very speedy back on Joe Broon's football team. I know Jimmy was on the championship team of '87 and missed by a whisker in '88 for lacrosse. And I know Joe Broon had quite a few go-arounds with Jim Buczek on the football field. So, congratulations, Jim Buczek. Come on up and say a few words. Class of '88. By the way, they were all good go-rounds with Joe Broon. Learning experiences.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart, Mr. Day, Mr. Creaney, and the Hall of Fame committee. I was part of the first wave of 7th grade microdons. To this day, I still think it was somewhat of a little social experiment. Loyola taking a chance on, hey, let's get 50 little kids, try out, and if it goes well, great. Loyola has a nice little feeder system, and we'll start a middle school. If it doesn't go well, we just screwed up those 50 kids. And But because Loyola took that chance, and they took that chance on guys like Bob Lally, Kevin Anderson, Brian Hepting, Brian Novotny, I was able to come here and go round and round with Father Watley all day, and go round and round with my mother and my father about why am I getting up at 5:30 to catch a bus at the Columbia Mall, to come out here with the guys with their corduroy jackets with the patches on the elbow. It was real. But because Loyola took that chance, I got to learn some important lessons from some impactful teachers and coaches like Mr. Ed Jones, Mr. McGeehan, Mr. Cavey, Ms. Welsh, who's here tonight, Mr. Stevens. And as I got older, here at Loyola, moving into junior and senior year, I got to learn even more lasting lessons from Doc Fitz, Mr. Joe Broon, and probably the biggest shining examples of living and competing with fierceness, humility, and grace from both Bill Careau and Mr. McFadden, who are also here tonight. And having served in teaching and coaching boys myself for the last 25 years, one of my primary goals has always been to use the lessons that I got from my role models and to give those important, timeless themes back to the next generation of young boys that are under my care, just the way that people did for me many moons ago. Because Loyola took that chance, and me and my crew didn't screw it up too badly, Loyola was a pioneer in getting a middle school program and helping the school out academically, athletically in that way. But I was also able to gain some foundational and lifelong relationships with friends and teammates alike. The list is too long to go through for me, but Thuron Mallory, Bob Meehan, Nick Baker, John Blashley, Mike Gelati, George Glyphis, Brian Hepting, Frank Cordo, Chuck Bresci, Matt Ballinger, Bob Lally, and Kevin Anderson. There's a brotherhood here that I think is very special. If I called any one of those names, or if they called me and said, hey, I need you to go lay down in traffic on 695, the answer would be what exit? Every single time. Okay. And that might be extreme or maybe even a little bananas. Okay. But that's the type of brotherhood that I think is all too rare in this world. Okay. And as we're sitting here and enjoying this phenomenal new facility, brotherhood begins and ends with people, and the people make the place. Okay? Not the buildings, not the technology, the dining halls. The people make the place. Campus has changed a lot. There's always a new fundraising campaign. There's always a new administrative edict. There's always a new MSA intrigue with who's doing what and where. And I think as adults, sometimes we might lose sight of the fact that the people make this place. Kids take away the themes from the important people who help share their experience here at Loyola. And the people who give their time and heed the Ignatian call and give their lives and themselves to this school and these boys are truly what makes this place special. Being a man for others is about being part of something bigger than yourself. And that's often very hard for a teenage boy to fully understand maybe at that time. But there may be no greater lesson, and there may be no greater mission for Loyola. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to all the teachers, coaches, teammates, my friends, and my family. You've helped me more than I can ever repay. Roll Dons forever.